Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
We ran back over and I got it all on video and it was pretty tough.
A murder charge has been filed surrounding a deadly house fire in Moorhead that happened back in June. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Justin Critt, the man who you saw in that video, is charged with second-degree murder and first-degree arson in the case. Valley News Team's Giovanna Simic spoke with Critt the day before at a different house fire in Detroit Lakes and has much more on that story. Giovanna?
Thanks, Christine. Justin Critt was just a suspect when Moorhead police found the body of 49-year-old Melissa Jane Wilcoxon at 1019 11th Avenue South. I was covering a fire in Detroit Lakes the day before when I spoke with Critt. No charges have been filed there, but investigators have been looking into a possible connection involving Critt. When I first spoke to Justin Critt, who told me his name was Mingan Shred, he was telling me about what he saw in the DL house fire that happened on June 27th.
Me and my brother were walking down and we went down the alley and we were over by CVS and he chuckled. He said, "Do you smell that?" I went, "Nothing."
Court documents indicate that Critt also uses the name Mingan Shred and has previous arson charges.
We turned back over by CVS and we turned around, we seen some black smoke and he was like, "Uh-oh. That's something," and it was something.
After finding out in July that Critt was a suspect in the Moorhead murder arson case, we reported that the day before we spoke to the same man. After our story ran, Detroit Lakes Police contacted us and requested a copy of the interview we did with Critt. During his interview, Critt showed no remorse or worry about the fire.
A lot of people live around here and, you know, it's not good. I mean, the hospital's right over there. You know, and winter's going this way, and there's people that live there, and there's children, and my mom lives just one block away.
Giovanna Simic, Valley News Live. I called Detroit Lakes Police to see if they identified Critt as a suspect in the house fire. I haven't gotten a call back yet. Christine?
Thanks, Giovanna. Critt was convicted of first-degree arson back in 1995 in Becker County. That was after he was involved in a fire at Detroit Lakes Junior High School. He was now being held in Cass County Jail on unrelated charges. And weather-wise, it was a rainy start to our day. So what can we expect going into tonight? Can we expect the same thing waking up tomorrow morning? Or?
Some of us.
Okay.
Yeah, the Southern Valley got a soggy start to the day today. It looks like the Northern Valley's turn as we head through tomorrow morning. But right now, not too bad out there. Taking a live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam, we're seeing some mostly clear skies, a few clouds around, and some mild temperatures as we go through the rest of the evening and overnight tonight. The winds will remain on the light side, but they'll start to pick on up as we head through the day on Wednesday. But right now, temperature-wise, 58 degrees. Winds out of the east and the northeast at 6 miles per hour. And again, those winds will remain light as we head through the overnight hours tonight. Temperature-wise, 59 up in Langdon, also 59 in Thief River Falls, Valley City, and in Jamestown. We'll throw in another 59 down in Sisseton and one more over in Detroit Lakes. Hey, how about Thief River Falls and Wadena? Lots of 59s out there tonight. Winds remain light, and again, they'll remain light as we head through the overnight hours tonight. Picking up out of the east tomorrow, though, 10 to 20 miles per hour with some stronger gusts. We've got some clouds out there, mainly off towards the west, and underneath those clouds, not seeing a whole lot of precipitation out there, but starting to see a few showers popping up west of Jamestown, up in the Devil's Lake Basin. As we head through the overnight hours tonight, better chance for some rain showers across the northern portions of the valley. Dry right now, but tomorrow into tomorrow night, southern portions of Minnesota, flash flood watches there. Also a risk for some strong to severe storms in that area. Across the national map, do have some rain off to our west and some rain showers dotting the Rocky Mountain region, and also some rain showers and thunderstorms along the eastern seaboard. For us, as we head through the overnight hours, we'll see that chance for some rain shower activity to increase across the northern valley into tomorrow morning as we head through the day. Just like what happened to the southern valley this morning, we'll have the rain showers early on, and then those rain showers will dissipate. Tomorrow's high temperatures ranging from the 60s to the north into the 70s to the south, and maybe a few more lingering showers across the south as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. More showers and thunderstorms, more numerous and heavier, well off towards the southeast. If you've got plans to head down towards the Twin Cities tomorrow, it's going to be a soggy one. Here in Fargo, we'll start off the day in the upper 40s. By lunchtime, we're going to warm it up pretty quickly on into the upper 60s. And later on, we'll top it out into the lower 70s. Picture of the day, a gorgeous one, sunrise in Grandin, North Dakota. This from this morning. Thanks for Jason for sending that in. We're going to use that as the background of our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, that chance for some showers up north to start off the day. Fall begins on Thursday, 9:21 a.m. And we'll see some fall-like temperatures in the 60s and 70s as we hit through the weekend, along with some showers and storms late Friday, Saturday, and early on Sunday.
All right. Thanks, Robert. One man is dead after a head-on crash that happened with a semi. It happened early this morning in Becker County. Take a look at this picture sent from a viewer. The crash was between this semi and a pickup truck. It happened on Highway 2, and police say the pickup went into oncoming lane when it hit the semi. The driver of the truck was pronounced dead at the scene, and the semi driver is expected to be okay. 2 years later, NDSU student Tommy Beerson's death still remains a mystery. And at this hour, it's still the top priority of the Moorhead Police Department. As far as the murder investigation goes, still there are few details, no motive, and no arrests. Police found Beerson's body a few days after he disappeared in a Moorhead parking lot. Through it all, Tom's parents have remained focused on giving back while also battling their grief.
It's just that constant pit in your stomach, and you just wish it were different.
They continue to tell us that the case is very, very active. We're very confident that there's going to be a resolution in the case.
The Beerson's Foundation raised $80,000 for a gym remodel at St. Francis Xavier. That's where Tommy went to high school. In other news tonight, a man who survived the stabbing rampage at a mall in St. Cloud, Minnesota on Saturday spoke about the attack today. 20-year-old Dahir Adon was shot and killed by an off-duty officer after he stabbed 10 people in the mall. Now, Isaiah Mordahl says he was stabbed in his shoulder. Mordahl and his girlfriend were cornered by Adon before they could run away.
And everybody just kind of panicked, started running around, screaming. I was yelling at co-workers and other shoppers to get out of the mall, get to cover because there was somebody stabbing people.
Now, the stabber, Dahir Adon, lived in Fargo for a period of time before moving to St. Cloud. Because of this, Fargo police say they are working with the FBI. Fargo Police Chief Dave Todd tells Valley News Live that Adon was not on their radar, and he has no indication that radicalization is happening right here in Fargo. However, his department has since handed over documentation showing the dates Adon's family lived in Fargo. Todd said beyond that, it wouldn't be appropriate for him to comment on the investigation. They're called soft targets, places where a large number of people congregate and which are generally unprotected. And those are the targets the vast majority of the time for terrorists. With this past weekend's attacks on the East Coast in Manhattan and a train station and in St. Cloud, Minnesota at a mall, what does this do to our mindset?
I think that it can definitely create a sense of paranoia, but like I say, it's just something to be vigilant about. Keep your eyes open. Look out for each other.
But I think that people sort of grieve and process things their own unique ways, so it's hard to kind of prescribe everybody to a one sort of shoe fits all.
Most people we talked with said they weren't frightened despite it happening so close to home. Fargo police need your help identifying this woman who they say is involved in a burglary. Officials say she's suspected of forgery stemming from a garage burglary this past May. So if you have any information on this woman, contact Detective Grant Kendall at the Fargo Police Department. Here's the number, 701-241-1390. President Obama called on other countries to open their hearts and borders to refugees fleeing war. He said it today during his final address before the United Nations. Now, that reignited the immigration debate for the presidential candidates. In his final address to the United Nations, President Obama pushed a message of world unity. Now, he never mentioned Donald Trump by name, but said a nation ringed by walls would only imprison itself. The president called on countries to work together to stop ISIS, end the conflict in Syria, and take in helpless refugees. Obama wants the U.S. to accept 110,000 people fleeing wars by next year. In a call today, Hillary Clinton says this is not a time for extreme proposals, adding that's what the terrorists want. Also today at the UN, Standing Rock Sioux Tribe Chairman Dave Archibald II tried to rally international opposition to the Dakota Access Pipeline project. The effort was brought on by the chairman, who gave his testimony to 49 council members and asked all parties to stop the construction of the pipeline. Archibald added the U.S. government had failed to abide by signed treaties with the tribe. Hillary Clinton has a lead over Donald Trump in the latest weekly NBC News SurveyMonkey online tracking poll. Clinton has 50% of support among likely voters compared to Trump's 45%. In a two-way matchup among registered voters, Clinton is also leading Trump 49% to 43%. Clinton also leads Trump on the question that asks voters who they think will win. Currently, 56% of likely voters think Clinton will win. Just 39% think Trump will win. Could you be getting sick from your cat? A new study says yes, and it's worse than researchers thought. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention says you can get a bacterial infection known as cat scratch fever from just a scratch or a bite. And they're finding out if there are more serious complications with the disease. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson spoke with a Fargo woman who caught it from her furry friend.
I have never had that bad of a sore throat in my life. Like, I always had strep throat as a kid, and there's nothing that compares to that. I couldn't eat anything for 4 days.
Homeward shelter manager Heather Clyde says it was the worst week ever.
I have been here for 11 years, and I actually developed it from my own personal cat.
One day she woke up with a fever and a sore throat, so she went to the doctor. Tests for mono and strep came back negative, and after multiple visits, they couldn't figure out what was wrong.
Just sipping water was super painful, and they were giving me lidocaine mouthwash to try and numb my throat. They were giving me steroids and antibiotics and so many things, and nothing worked.
After 2 weeks, she got over it on her own, and a trip to the vet revealed the cause.
Turns out my personal cat actually had the Bartonella Hensley, which is what causes cat scratch disease.
The cat gets sick from a flea, and you get sick from being scratched. But it's actually pretty rare. According to the CDC, about 12,000 people get it a year. Humans get a headache, a fever, and swollen lymph nodes, but your cat might not show any signs.
With my cat, she never developed a fever, she never developed a lethargy, she just started having eyesight issues.
Clyde holds thousands of cats and says most healthy ones won't ever get it, and she doesn't want it to prevent you from adopting one. Right now, they have more cats needing a home than usual. Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
To prevent cat scratch disease, the CDC says wash your hands after playing with your cat and keep them indoors away from fleas. From fun cuts to shaved heads or bold colors, people are showing support to battle that families right here in the Valley are fighting. Thursday at the Bowler is the first Brave Cuts Bold Colors event. Gold is the color for childhood cancer, so people are putting a colored streak in their hair to show support and raise awareness. Donations will all go to families at Sanford Children's Hospital and the Roger Maris Cancer Center, where parents say they make a difference for their child fighting cancer.
It's not something people want to talk about. It's not something you see advertised as much as some other ones. So if I can come out and raise a little awareness and let people know that we have this great cancer center in Fargo and great team and doctors, and why not give back?
Thursday's event is from 4 to 8 p.m. The Cass County Sheriff's Office received funding today from Cornerstone Dental Group to enhance the safety of Canine Deputy Ed. Deputy Dan Herman and Canine Ed have been an active team for the past 8.5 years with several narcotics-related arrests. And today, Ed received a ballistic vest that cost $1,000. It's Tuesday night, and we have an order in for a restaurant report card. In Grand Forks, several restaurants had critical violations, but Grandma Butterwick's family restaurant had the most with 8. However, the owner of the family-owned restaurant says those violations don't really tell the whole story. We'll hear from her tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10. Still ahead tonight, time is ticking for lawmakers to sign off on a bill worth over $1 billion for treatment from the opioid crisis.